Just spotted a Karen in her natural habitat with a three-legged rescue dog. It's a rare, elusive creature. The three-legged rescue dog and the owner Karen. And say that dog does not have a peanut allergy of any sort. Actually, I'm returning to a scene of a crime. If I wanted to, if I was so inclined to, you know, I could have caused grievous bodily harm to them. And she said to me, are you threatening me, sir? Sounds like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's mother. I go, I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you what the potential could be. You know, they said they were going to call the police. And I said, go ahead. I go, call David Suzuki, call the Audubon Society, call the Turtle Endangerment Center of Canada, and report me. Come and join me today. I'm on the banks of the Grenadier Pond in Toronto's High Park, and I'm discussing the most recent conservative floor crosser that crossed to the Liberals, Marilyn Gladu, out of Sarnia, Lambton. An unlikely floor crosser. If they can get her, they can get anyone. And also in this video, I walked through a nature trail, and I recollect a story from a couple years ago when I was confronted in pitch darkness by a couple Karens over me riding my e-bike during turtle mating season. Stick around, it's a bit of a humorous story, but not so humorous is the majority government that fork-tongued lizard Mark Carney now possesses. Stick around. Well, as I'm sure everyone's aware by now, we had another floor crosser in Canada yesterday from Conservative to Liberal. Marilyn Gladu, she's out of Sarnia, Lambton, which is on the shores of Lake St. Clair, across from, I believe, Port Huron, Michigan. I was in Sarnia 2 years ago. I spent the night there. It's a very industrial town, depressed. And I actually seen the largest homeless encampment in Canada there. I would estimate there was a homeless encampment that stretched almost a kilometer long that skirted the eastern, or sorry, it'd be the eastern shore of the St. Clair River. It was a well-organized camp from what I witnessed that night. And I was going to go back and do a little poking around, but my brother advised against that for safety reasons. And I don't always heed people's warnings, but I did that time. But anyhow, so Marilyn, by all accounts, has been a long time staunch conservative, and that riding that she just vacated to go to the Liberal side has been conservative for 20 years. So my understanding is the constituents there are very upset, as they should be. And up until a couple days ago, she was still rattling off Liberal or conservative talking points, going after Mark Carney in specific, with regards to his shortcomings as a Liberal tyrant. Then a couple, 3-4 days later, she crosses the aisle. So obviously the obvious question is, what prompted Marilyn to do this? Well, it's like the other three conservatives and the NDP, Michael Ma, Chris D'Entremont, Matt Genereux, and Laurie Italute, NDP. They are all given exorbitant amounts of Chinese money, and or someone in their family was threatened, they were blackmailed, they were coerced in one way or another. You just don't come across like Marilyn has done, and the way she has been on record so many times for going against liberal ideologies, and all of a sudden you're a liberal? No. There, at the very least, there has to be an investigation here. That isn't going to happen because the RCMP is complicit in this. The top level brass of the RCMP, like I said many times, might as well be floor crossers themselves. Dougie Ford, obviously they got to him a long time ago. He hasn't been a conservative for a long time, but because he's in provincial government and he's the premier of Ontario, he doesn't have to cross the aisle. He just can do whatever he wants as a conservative. Well, I shouldn't say that. He can do whatever he wants as a liberal under the cloak of being a conservative. So once again, people are saying to look internally, like the CBC, the CTV, all the usual bought and paid for liberal communist state-sponsored media. They're saying that, it's a Pierre Poilievre problem. And that's a bunch of bullshit. It's not a Pierre Poilievre problem. I liken it this way. Terry Fox, the greatest Canadian who ever lived. known worldwide for his humanitarian fundraising of cancer research. He's an idol in Canada. Terry's been dead for a long time. You put Terry Fox in Pierre Poilievre's position as leader of the official opposition, and the next day CBC, CTV, and all the liberal Chinese paid for politicians are going to go out and denounce and slander Mr. Terry Fox. So put that in relation. It doesn't matter who's in charge of the official opposition. The campaign is widespread. We are corrupted to the core. The Chinese own our politicians. They own our media. They own vast resources in this country, land. And it does, like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. It doesn't matter who's in charge of the official opposition. They're going to need someone. They want someone that is more in line with towing the liberal line, and that is someone like Dougie Ford, and that's who they are grooming to take over Pierre's position. They want someone that can play ball with them. They want someone that that can get their hands dirty at a street level. And you know, I know Dougie from way back. He's a street level guy, not so dissimilar as to myself. We've chewed some of the same dirt. So that's who they want. They want someone that is considerably ethically more challenged, someone that has lost sight of their moral compass. And you know, a lot of people say, well, all the politicians in this country are all from they're all from the same feather, the same bird, so to speak. And to a high degree that is true, but I still think that Pierre Poilievre is not completely playing ball with the liberals, and that's why he has to go. Or, you know, on the other side of that coin, people are going to say in the comment section, nah, Dewey, smarten up, you don't know what you're talking about, they're all the same. Quite possibly. At the end of the day, I always revert back to this. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we're the ones getting screwed over. We're the ones that can't afford to eat. We're the ones that can't afford to buy houses. We're the ones that can't afford car insurance. We're the ones that can't afford to keep heat on. All those sort of things. Daycare, baby formula. So at the end of the day, this country is just going to keep on slipping down the trajectory that the liberals have taken it. Now, people in the comment section, a couple people, most people that watch my content know where I'm coming from, and we're of like mind. Now, obviously, when you're sitting at home watching my videos, you're going to say, well, you're going to think to yourself, well, he missed this, he missed that. Well, that's fine. You can start a YouTube channel and you can bring up those points that I missed. And you can tell me that, Dewey, you know what? You know, you got to smarten up. You got to realize that all the politicians are against us. And to a high degree, I understand that. What I'm trying to convey in my message is, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to fix this? How are we going to help each other? How are we going to help, if like a guy like me, how am I going to help myself to survive, navigate Canada? And that's what we have to come up with. The people that are staunch liberals and are never going to admit that the liberal ideology is severely flawed, dangerously flawed, they're going to go down with the ship. And a lot of the liberals have already gone down with the ship. You got homeless people, you got drug addicted people, you got people that are addicted to alcohol. They are in very bad way, and they will still say they will vote liberal. And that's just the way it is. After 11 years of liberal treachery, for lack of a better word, in this country, you know, if you haven't come to the conclusion it's time for a change yet, you're never going to, and it's going to be too late anyways. Obviously, the democratic style of voting in this country is done. It doesn't matter if you vote conservative. That riding that Maryland just vacated, well, or she turned her back on. Like I said, it's a staunch conservative riding for 20 years. She was probably the most unlikely person to cross the floor in the entire conservative parliament. And they got her. So they can get her, and they can get anyone. Now, there's a picture of her with Mark Carney, I don't know, somewhere in Ottawa. She's about 3 times the size of him. I don't know, anyhow, I'm off on a tangent. It looked like the photo was actually photoshopped, or it was, you know, somehow it was manipulated. That is one big woman. Whoa. But anyhow, yeah, so a lot of people on my other social medias are, you know, my closer friends, obviously. And I'm not saying you're not my close friends, you are, a lot of you are. But, you know, they are very upset, and they are very frustrated, and they're destitute with regards to the possibility of never voting again, because it doesn't matter, and it would appear that it really doesn't. No, you know, Dewey's bringing another doom and gloom message. Well, yeah, it is kind of a doom and gloom message, but that's just the way it is in Canada. You know, it could be worse. I could be in a worse shape. I got a full belly right now. I got a beautiful backdrop here. I know how to navigate Toronto better than most, and I got a psychological advantage, I should say, over most people, because I know where this is going, and I've known for a long time where this is going to end up, and I'm prepared for that. So that's my message today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you want to tell me that, you know, I don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on, Dewey. Yeah, Dewey knows what's going on to a very high degree, trust me. Better than most. So, thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. Bye. Beautiful day in Toronto today. Just down on the northern terminus of Grenadier Pond in High Park. Got some guys doing some stonework on this massive house here. Got half a Canada flag up there for some reason. I don't know. I guess the contractors put that flag up, but it's in pretty bad shape. Anyhow, this street, I'm not going to name the street, but I'm very familiar with, well, a lot of streets in the West End. But this one is a little special because I know years ago, about 10 years ago for sure, Commander Chris Hadfield of the Royal Canadian Air Force and of NASA fame. He's a Canadian astronaut. Everyone knows who Chris Hadfield is. He lives on this street, and he lives in one of those houses up there. I'm not going to point out the exact house, or he used to live there. And I never had the chance to meet him, but I was told by a neighbor what house he lived at, because I knew a neighbor that lived on this street. Now, I'm not on this street because of that. And I'm not on the street because of Jeremy Hansen being on Artemis 2, whether he be in space or in a Hollywood sound studio. That's up to your discretion. I'm not sure. I can't trust anything that the government tells me anymore. Do we have people, you know, circling the moon, or do we have people drinking coffee in West Hollywood? Anyhow, leave it up to your imagination. Actually, I'm returning to a scene of a crime 2 summers ago, right on this rock. I was coming through this trail on my e-bike at night on a Saturday night. It's around between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. If you watch any of my older videos, you'll know that I'm on my e-bike quite a bit, and it's equipped to do night riding with the amount of lumens I have on the bike. It's well equipped for very dark trails. So I was coming through here minding my own business, and I had my Bluetooth speaker with me, and I was playing some Rolling Stones, expecting to see no one on my travels, because who's going to come through this trail at night in their right mind? It's dangerous. High Park's a dangerous park. So I'm sitting on my bike. I got my foot up on this rock, and my headlights from my bike are going into the forest there. Then I hear rustling, well, not rustling, but I hear people coming towards me from this way. But you can't, that light there wasn't working at all, and you can't, it was so dark that night, you couldn't see, I don't know, 10 feet in front of you. So then I hear this lady with a, I made out to be either an Austrian or German accent, say, "What are you doing here?" And I just turned around and I said, "What do you mean, what am I doing here?" And then a guy spoke up, and I can't see either of them, and they can't see me, and I'm all kitted out in my my night riding gear. If they would have seen me, they probably wouldn't have said anything to me, because you know, it's kind of an intimidating look. So anyhow, I had a bit of a back and forth with them, and they said it was against the bylaw to ride my bike through here, and I'm not so sure that it is. But anyhow, they said it was turtle mating season, and they wanted me to get out of here. So I had some words with them, and it was all on video, actually, the sound, but I can't post the video because you know, Rolling Stones were playing Beast of Burden. So it would have been a huge copyright infringement, so I never posted the video. But you know, I said to the lady and to the guy, I said, you know, you're out in the middle of the woods, pitch black, and you don't know who you're confronting. I said, if I wanted to, if I was so inclined to, you know, I could have caused grievous bodily harm to them. And I didn't put it like that, but what I said is, I said to them, I go, the next person that you confront in pitch darkness because you think you're saving turtles, might not care about the turtles, which I do, and they will certainly not care about your life. And that's what I impress upon them. And she said to me, are you threatening me, sir? Sounds like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's mother. I go, I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you what the potential could be for confronting people in the woods in pitch darkness. So anyhow, you know, they said they were going to call the police, and I said, go ahead. I go, call David Suzuki, call the Audubon Society, call the Turtle Endangerment Center of Canada, and report me. And I rode away, you know. So that's the level of Karen, and I call, like I said before in my videos, I call women and men Karen. That's the level of insanity that people are dealing with within the city. They don't realize the danger they're possibly posing upon themselves and others. But anyhow, that's my story there. Nice little area. It's a beautiful day today. Beautiful day. Dabbling ducks. I've seen these ducks around, not those ones. Yeah, these are nice looking ducks. I didn't know what they were called until now. Yeah, you see lots of different waterfowl down here for sure. It's a really nice little park. This part of High Park is my favorite part. Once you get up and over up in there, nah, not for me. Across the pond there, someone has a building at the bottom of the property. That's pretty cool. I'm not so sure. I don't think you can bring any sort of boats on here anymore, even paddle boats. I don't think so. Yeah, in my lifetime you can never bring a motorized boat on here, that's for sure. They used to have paddle boats and those ones that it's like a bicycle, two people sit in them and you pedal them, pedal boats. That's what I'm looking for. They used to do that back in the day, but now it's probably deemed a turtle estuary. You don't want to upset the turtles. Imagine living in Toronto and that's your backyard, right on the northern terminus of Grenadier Pond. Now up over there in where are we here? Let's come back. Up over a nose, up that hill over there, Moses Neimer, the former owner of City TV, has a house. At least he used to. And he used to live beside Jim McKenney. Jim McKenney had a house up there too. And a local politician that I know, Bill Cook, had a house up there. And it's a very exclusive enclave, obviously. Your backyard goes down into Grenadier Pond. I don't know if Moses still lives there. I know Cook doesn't, and I'm not sure about Jim McKenney. But they're all up there in age now. And yeah, a little more local knowledge. Got some cormorants here, a couple swans. I passed a gray egret back there. I was going to get some video of it, but a lady was hogging that area, so I didn't want to come up and intimidate her. Just spotted a Karen in her natural habitat with a three-legged rescue dog. It's a rare, elusive creature. The three-legged rescue dog and the owner, Karen. I'd have to go out on a limb and say that dog does not have a peanut allergy of any sort. Yeah, some nice backyards up there, eh? Imagine it. Wow. Very nice. Supposed to go up to what, plus 17 today? What's with the Canada flag up here? Oh my Lord! Isn't that a symbol of hate? How do these liberal Karens tolerate that Canada flag in their park? There must be a petition going around to put up a Palestinian flag here. No? Gotta be a protest here this Saturday. Take down that Canada flag and put up a Palestinian flag, or an LGBTQ LMNOP flag. This is absurd to have a Canada flag here. Got the ducks gardening at the bottom. Looks like this little female mallard. No, looks like this little female duck stepping out on her boy. What are you doing? What you doing? A little nap. What are you guys doing? Beautiful birds, eh? Like my birds. Always liked them, even as a kid. It's not because I'm in my Carlsberg years. I've always liked the beauty that nature has to offer. Every so often you encounter these, and they are 2x4 and metal mesh that protect turtle eggs. And I've actually talked to some people that work for the volunteer group that monitors these protective enclosures. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hey, who doesn't like turtles?